And David, in today's face-off, to steal a line from the Odd Couple, can Democrats live together without driving each other crazy?
President Obama wants a health care bill on his desk, or at least through the Senate by next week, but he's taking heat for not being more engaged or more fierce in the debate. Liberal Democrats are following Howard Dean's lead. Dean says the bill is no good in its current form, while others like Senator Jay Rockefeller say any bill is better than no bill. And then you have the independent from Vermont, Bernie Sanders, who says he is still on the fence about whether or not to vote for a bill that a lot of people think may not even get to a vote. Here to face off, Democratic strategist Karen Finney and Republican strategist Alex Conant. Alex, first on John McCain's complaint that nobody knows the cost, nobody knows what's in the bill. You would be against this anyway without knowing the cost and the bill, right?
Well, David, oh, come on. No, give us a chance. Give us a chance. No, I think Harry Reid is proving to be the Grinch that stole Christmas. He won't let Republicans, he won't even let people in his own caucus, the Democrats in the Senate, see the bill before, a couple hours before they're supposed to vote on it. This bill is going to reorganize a sixth of the American economy. A sixth of our national GDP is tied to health care. He's going to completely reorganize it with this massive bill that nobody has seen yet. It really boggles the mind what the hurry is, why we have to pass this during a blizzard here in D.C. on the eve of Christmas, why we can't just wait a couple weeks.
Alex Conant is the one who's defending the interests of Democratic senators. I never thought I'd heard the day. Karen, go ahead.
But wait a second. We need to pass this bill because millions of Americans need health care. I mean, and look, if the Republicans haven't been paying attention all along, Alex, then you need to talk to some of the folks in your party. We've been talking about this for a very long time.
Then why haven't we seen the bill? Why haven't we seen a bill?
Because there's still discussions going on about different parts of the bill. I mean, I think that's a very fair thing, but it is not unfair to say, hey, guys, you might have to work on a Saturday. A lot of Americans have to work on a Saturday. I mean, and your party, it's pretty outrageous in terms of the Grinch who stole Christmas. All your party has been able to say is no, 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 no. You haven't been able to come up with one counter proposal that would actually cover people, that would actually do what we need to do.
Karen, that's ridiculous. The Republicans have offered lots of ideas which have been summarily rejected by the Democrats.
That would raise costs and wouldn't actually cover people.
But you said that there's a lot of negotiations going on, and that's why we're working on Saturday. Fine, but those negotiations are between Democrats. Republicans have not been invited into the room. We have ideas. It's the Democrats that aren't listening to them.
I think the Republicans made it pretty clear that their goal was to, quote unquote, make this Obama's Waterloo, that they really had no interest in passing real health care reform. And the conversation that's going on among Democrats, I personally believe, is going to actually make the bill better, because we are unified around the goal of actually passing health care reform, which is a big difference between what the Republicans are trying to do by saying no and holding up a funding bill for the troops.
The Democrats cannot agree on this bill. Your old boss, Howard Dean, had an op-ed in the Washington Post yesterday saying vote against this bill, which is ironic because we haven't even seen the bill that he's saying that they should vote against. I think that Harry Reid should propose that legislation, let the American people and Congress take their time to read it so that everybody understands what's in the bill, and then we can have a real honest debate about whether or not this is the way to move forward.
We have honesty here. Let me ask you, though, because you've got here some Republican lawmakers who were at a web prayer praying against the health care reform itself, and that would make people wonder how willing you are when you're literally praying to God to block it itself. And I'm not laughing at anyone's religion. You can pray for anything you want, but you've got some key Republicans praying to block this bill.
Tamara, that's a very fair question, and what little we know about this bill is very scary to millions of Americans, to the majority of Americans. This bill is going to this bill is going to cut Medicare. It's going to increase taxes. In the long run, I guarantee it's going to increase the debt, and it's not going to address the fundamental problems with the healthcare system.
Why is it, though, when the CBO score comes out and it's in favor and proves your argument and other Republicans wrong, that you reject it? But if that same CBO score actually did show that this was bad and that it would increase the deficit, you'd be touting that. Why, as the president pointed out, you have so many people ignoring the data that has come in from CBO scorings? Why is that?
Not to mention the polls, frankly, that show a majority of Americans want health care reform and support of many of these proposals.
Let the record reflect that Harry Reid has not even introduced a bill, let alone let CBO score whatever legislation is going to be voted on in 30 or 45 hours. I think it's lunacy that we're rushing. I think it's lunacy that.
Karen, one final question for you.
When the bill is this big, it takes a while to read.
One final question. It gets to a lot of the problems on the Democratic left with President Obama. Have any Democrats, or Republicans for that matter, who have crossed President Obama, have any of them paid any price?
Well,
Have there been invitations rejected?
I think that remains to be seen, but I certainly think that what's important on the Democratic side, again, you have people fighting to make the bill better. There are some policy disagreements. They are very real. I am not dismissing them by any means, but at the end of the day, we're fighting for the same thing, and we're actually, I think, at the end of the process, going to make it better. Will anybody take...
David, Democrats who have sided with the president have paid a price. That's why you saw Democrats lose in New Jersey and Virginia.
The reason I bring this up is because Congressman Steve King, who signed that Kenya Trust Obama at that offensive sign at that rally a couple weeks ago, he was invited to a White House holiday party. Joe Lieberman, after stabbing Harry Reid in the back, he's invited to. It seems, Karen and Alex, like there's nothing that happens to you if you make the White House mad. They just try even harder to make you happy, and I'm not sure that's a very good sign of leadership.
Yeah,
you guys, I have to say, I actually think we don't yet know. I mean, I think Obama is a different kind of leader. We may not like it. It is not, classic Washington ways. It remains to be seen how effective it is.
All right, good point. Karen Finney and Alex Conant, great strategists, both of them. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
David.
And a
Have a good
reminder,
weekend.
you too.